I don't think he knows how hard it is to get leads and what that looks like. So we actually had him reach out to our buyer's agents yesterday because they told me, just saying, hey, I really miss you guys, and it's kind of lonely, and it's just hard, and if you don't know that, it's difficult to know. Like, I think the days of technology where you buy leads is a failing proposition, and I think it's only going to get worse going forward. So glad to share some strategies we have today to combat that, and hopefully you guys can benefit from that as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And so you guys noticing a little bit of a shift. You were talking about that earlier, right? With your market.
Yeah, I mean, it's yet to be known. I mean, it definitely feels a little slower, but August is one of the slowest months for Florida specifically. So hot here, back to school, family vacations. So I found August is one of the slower months, and so I'm pretty used to that. So I think the truth is always in September, October. So we'll see. It seems to be picking up quite nice. So I think that that will continue. So we're not as shifty here as maybe other areas.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the things you do first with like mindset. Let's go into that first, and with the team for mindset too.
Yeah. Yeah. So with mindset, I think mindset's everything. I think how you approach that on a day-to-day basis in real estate, it's really challenging because what we do is just not easy. I tell my team all the time, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And it's just not. So, I mean, think about it this way. How many shows are on TV about real estate? I mean, we kind of have the dream job, to be honest. Like, I mean, people want to be you. They want to be you guys. And I think we take that for granted sometimes, especially if we're in business for a long time. We start forgetting the process, and then you go and buy and sell your own house. And then you go through that and you realize, like, wow, this is real. It's tough. We all get emotional. I mean, we're trying to sell an investment property right now, and it's challenging. You just really.
Your parents' house. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Right. So you guys know what that is. So for me, mindset's everything. So some things I've adopted since I've been in real estate since '05. I really don't watch the news. I listen to Audible daily at this point with new books. I'm constantly going to continuing education myself, and trying to get the team involved as much as I can. We've got many people on the team that coaches with MAPS and has mastery coaching. We have group coaching. We pretty much have 2 or 3 of those going at all times. We're doing a 90 and 90 class right now. Kelly is doing a class on operations. Basically, it's like a perfect assistant class, but it's the operations one, and it just came out. What's that?
Taking it or teaching it?
She's taking it.
Okay.
Yeah, taking it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my wife. So we're really big about education. Obviously, that's how I've got to know Jess a lot, is through going to all these events and being in masterminds together. And so for me, mindset's really half the battle, and showing up and being consistent is probably the key to success, in my opinion. It's just showing up every day, receptive to get more business, having the mindset that you're going to get business. And then also the key that people miss is the actions it takes, right? It takes actions every day to make sure that, what you do today shows up in 60 and 90 days. We all know that. But when people are on vacations all the time, it's going to impact the business. It just will. So you just got to prepare for it. That doesn't mean you don't take vacations. It just means you're mindful that you really need to kill it and be purposeful. So if you want to go on tons of vacations, you just have to be really purposeful with your time when you're working, right? So that's some of the mindset that we go through on a daily basis, and how I think about it ultimately.
Right.
Yeah.
And how does the team work in terms of mindset? Do they practice scripts? Do you guys do team huddles? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so we do a team meeting every Tuesday from 10 to 11. We have an agenda that we follow every week. We usually have a video. We have an educational moment. We have a bucket filling session. And then we talk about upcoming client events and just a number of things. Sorry, but there's bells going off, and that means something good happened. And I'm trying to think what was the question?
Do you guys do any script practice, or you guys have calls in between, like to team huddle calls, or do you do a team huddle in the morning?
Yeah, so we have the lead gen part is really 9 to 10, and to be honest, guys, it's a struggle. It's to get everyone on board with that is not easy.
Doesn't this make you guys feel good that somebody else is telling you that struggle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, the struggle's real. It really is. So
that's why I knew they would love you.
So the way I think about it is really, if someone can't figure out how to set their schedule between 9 and 10 to be purposeful to get more business, then I don't know. That's kind of the basics, right? I mean, that's kind of where it all starts. I'm sorry I have an appointment at that time, but I could do 11, or I could do noon, or whatever. I'm saying an hour, right? So we're doing script and role play, 15 minutes. Roll into an hour lead gen, and we do it 4 days a week, with the exception of taking off Thursdays. And we've revamped it a bunch of times, and really this is I've kind of leveraged that to have my director of lead gen lead that, because that's her role, not my role, and then ultimately get the team on board to do it. We've hired another ISA, another OSA, and they're in the kind of the middle of our office in our suite, and they're just always on the phone. So everyone's feeling that energy, and it's been really awesome. They started just after Labor Day, and they've been killing it on the phone, and I've seen the whole team's like energy jump up from that. So it's been pretty awesome.
Right?
Pardon?
Anne-Marie?
Yeah, Anne-Marie's our director of lead gen. We hired another inside salesperson named Sammy.
Okay.
We have 2 OSAs, and they're calling for sale by owners and expireds and circle prospecting right now.
So anybody that doesn't know, inside sales agent and then outside sales agent. Outside sales agent is like outbound prospecting for expireds and for sale by owners. Inside sales agent is like inbound calls. So it could be like past clients that are calling in, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So do they then funnel the leads to the agents?
They pre-qualify all the leads, and then they funnel them to the agents. And the director of lead gen basically can oversee the agents as well as the inside and outside sales agents too. And how many hours are those inside and outside agents working for you?
Yeah, so we have 2 shifts. One's 8 to 4, and the others are 8 to 4, and then 10 to 6, and then they basically rotate where they're on call every other night, every other weekend.
Who rotates, the inside and outside, or the agents?
Just inside, actually. So our outside are there to crush it on the phones, and then ultimately there's 2 of them, and they happen to be married. So like they both call, and then one sets appointments for the other. And one's the one in the listing agent role right now, transitioning to listing agent, and in his 90 days right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Then who are the agents calling in that hour?
Who do you have calling in that hour? Their Sphere?
Yeah, mainly Sphere. It's really whatever they're working on with their 135 is what we're focused on. So of course, if Jess tells you guys you got to call so and so and so and so and so and so, you're not going to listen. But so that's what for us it's just we just being real. Like, you guys got to pick what that looks like for you.
Right.
It's not up to Jess. Ultimately, you should be responsible for your goals. And on a 135, that I don't care how it looks. Now, I have learned this. We've allowed where people pick all passive things, and then it's just like, well, open houses didn't work, no one showed up, or stuff like the networking. Well, yeah, networking is a long-term play, Tony. I can't get business every week from it. So my advice would be pick 2 active and 1 passive, so you have control over your business and knowing what you're going to do. Just let me let you all in a secret. On a secret I found out, if you guys get business, then Jess gets business, but we all win, right? So that is really, really important concept for our team, that we've found that passing our business, like any of my past clients, it's pretty much a done deal. It's just a matter of and at the end of the day, they're going to be happy probably with our team and the person I would actually ask to handle that, right? So for us, really becomes more about two other things in our opinion. One being, can they get reviews from clients? And then the other would be, can they get a referral throughout the process? So as I've leveraged myself, and really I haven't been on the buying side in a number of years, so I've just noticed the buying side, we weren't getting any referrals, but yet we were getting awesome reviews. So that told me we're missing out on a lot of opportunity because the people were thrilled. We're just not training them to refer us properly.
Right. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So we basically we came up with what we call the promise for our clients, and really our promise to our clients is that we'll give them the best real estate experience they could ever imagine. And we tell them that up front when they call in from our ISA department, or directly, if someone called me, I'm going to tell them the same thing. And then it goes through every department where everyone's talking about the promise. So that may look like if Sherry, our closing coordinator, when she gets the file and she needs to do her intro to go from contract to close, she's going to call and talk to them about the promise at first. Were you aware of the promise? So it's kind of a checks and balance in between every department. And then we ask for two things. So I think the most authentic way would just to be to script and role play it. So if Jess, you want to do that with me? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So thanks for contacting our team. So can I share with you what our team's all about?
Sure.
Awesome. So really, we have something we call our promise to our clients. And what that means really to us is that we want to provide the best real estate experience you can possibly ever imagine. So if we were able to do that, would that be something you'd be happy with?
Well, that's what we hope for, Tony.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the whole point of business, right? At the end of the day, we want a happy client.
Right.
And so if we're able to do that, we ask for two things. Would it be okay if I tell you what those are?
Sure.
Okay. So really the first thing is, at the end of this, we want to know how we did. Okay. How we've decided to gauge that is something called online reviews.
Okay.
So we want you to really do online reviews for us on 6 key websites, because just like Jess, you contacted us through the internet today, didn't you?
Yes.
So you understand how important that is, right?
Oh yeah, that's how we find everybody nowadays.
Yeah, I agree. So it's like the best gift we can ever receive. So we're going to ask you to do online reviews for us on 6 key websites. And then that also gauges us how we're doing with the promise. So would you be willing to do that for us?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you do your job, Tony.
Awesome. Great. I understand that. I mean, you want me to deliver on my end, and we want you to deliver on your end. So that sounds fair. Second thing we asked for is sometime between today and closing, we want to earn a referral from you. Okay. That could look a number of ways. That could be someone that needs to refinance. Just think of real estate help. They need real estate help. They may need to put an addition on their house. They may need to buy a house. They need to sell a house. They may need to invest in something. We want to be their resource for real estate. So sometime between today and closing, we want to compel you to earn a referral. Okay, would that be okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, great. So at the end, Jess, just to be real honest with you, if we haven't done either thing at closing, if we haven't earned a referral at that point, then we're going to have a conversation to find out how we could improve. Would that be okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Because we take the promise really, really serious, and we want to make sure that we deliver that to you.
Okay, great.
Okay, so we really look forward to working with you, and we're going to go ahead and set up an appointment to meet.
All right, that sounds great. Looking forward to it, Tony.
Okay, talk to you soon. Thanks.
Take care.
So that's the gist of it, and our reviews have skyrocketed. We want to review 75% of the time from clients, and we want a referral 50% of the time.
And you're tracking all those reviews too, which is
We do.
You know how many you're getting, which is another great area to track on our sheets to see how many we gotten the review, have we not, right?
Yeah, so we track it on every single client, and we actually do it during our team meeting. We just have a section where we announce it, and we go through the promise, and we say, yeah, this one closed, this one was Kate's. Hey, Kate, did you get a review? Great. Awesome. Did we do them on all 6, or did we do them on 1?
Yep.
Great. did we get a referral?
Like one or two if we get them, or we don't get them, kind of thing.
What's that?
We find that we might get one, or we might get two, or we don't get them, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you this: they will do all 6 if you set that expectation. You
Yeah.
just got to talk about it.
Well, and Brandy just said we need to improve it at the buyer consult with them. And I think just like, I mean, hearing the script is a really good script to just say, hey guys, look, we're looking for you to give us the reviews. I know I always do say that at the listing appointment, and we're going to ask for referrals throughout this process for you. My goal is to get 3 referrals from you at the listing appointment. So at each step of the way, you have the good news call with them and say, hey, good news. Just want to let you know we just received your second deposit. Good news. We just got your mortgage commitment. By the way, have you thought of that referral yet for us? You know, they love the good news call and the, by the way, have you thought of that referral for us? We want to help more great people like you.
Yeah. Yeah, we do one. We just added this 2 weeks after closing. Our director of lead gen calls and basically says, hey, my name's Anne Marie. I'm the director on the team. And I was calling because we wanted to make sure we delivered the promise to you. So on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, what would you rank how we did as far as delivering the promise? And then from there, we asked for, again, I don't have a means to see if you did a review, so I'm checking. Did you do a review for us? Yes or no? No. Okay, great. I'm going to email you the links again.
Playing dumb, I love it.
Yeah, and then we ask for the referral. We say, no worries. Don't worry about it. We know, not everyone's able to accomplish that, but the majority of people are. So let's do this. Let's extend it 90 days, and I'm sure you can run into someone that needs our help with real estate.
Yep.
Would that be okay? And then, yes. Okay, awesome. Here's the thing. I need you to get permission to call when that happens, because there's too many realtors in Tampa. There's actually something called a zillion realtors now in Tampa. So there's so many that, they're not going to call me most likely unless I call them. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's how we do it.
That's great.
We're just super purposeful about it.
What do you guys think about that?
And then let's actually implement it more,
What's up?
implement it more than what we have and push it.
Yeah. And have all of us buy in and doing the referrals and the reviews. I know I'll like text you guys and say, hey, can you please help me doing the reviews and that kind of thing, but they're really huge because.
Well, keep in mind, I'm only doing, I'm maybe 10% in production right now, and we're getting the most reviews we ever have. So I'm going to throw out that challenge to you guys. Like, let me ask you this. Do you deliver a great service for your clients?
Yes.
Okay. So you deserve a review and you deserve a referral. You just got to coach them how to do that, because at the end of the day, it's all about expectations. If you're setting those expectations, and by the way, this is how I built my whole business, both of these concepts. And then as I leveraged, I just had a really hard time because it was my fault. I wasn't training very well with how to get referrals and reviews. We've always done really well. We have over 1,000 online now. So.
Yeah, so in all their websites, they've got over 1,000. So tell them too, because sometimes it gets very tough, I think, for the team members to be like, well, why do we need all these reviews? Is it just our ego? So tell them why we need these reviews.
Yeah, great question. I mean, people find you online, and here's the newest research that just blew my mind. Millennials specifically will read reviews and go after. They will hire based on online reviews over their mom's referral.
Yes.
That's a real statistic. So that just blew my mind, and I've been doing it since 2007, really purposefully getting reviews for a long time. And so what happens, the phone just starts ringing because people will read reviews to find their realtor. And also for you guys, I know, you're a well-known brand in that area. So, if not only they've heard of you, they're going to also read reviews, then they're going to call you versus someone else.
Mm-hmm. And so Toni and I have a couple of other really good friends that we're on a group text with pretty daily. So they have been working like crazy to all build their reviews on Google. So the last week or so, because I realized our Google was way off, and I had thought that we had been doing it. I was on Google Plus and not the regular Google site, and that's dead apparently. So they were basically challenging me to do it. So I started working on that. So the thing is, Google ranks you and ranks you higher so that we used to have it because of all of our blogging, our video, everything else that we, and the doors open, but we would rank so high that we ranked higher than Keller Williams. And people would type in Keller Williams Simsbury. So when they would call, they'd call us.
Right.
So right now we slipped. So I'm building that back up and I need your help to do it.
So when we close, is the email still going out automatically to them? Like if they were before, you know how Josh would send it out? Are those-
We changed that a long time ago. Remember, you guys have your own reviews that you're supposed to be sending out.
I didn't remember that either.
Yeah.
That's how I got all clear in mine.
So apparently
I
now
also
you guys
asked
need
them
to
on
send
the phone, too.
your own. So you have the online review letter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then there's the new ones for the other ones too.
Yeah.
There's a template in Ripley.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
It says Brandon's review.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. We will send you the email we send our clients, and you guys can just, just
We
do the
actually
same
have
thing.
that email.
What's that?
That's how our letter was formed.
Oh, okay. So we've changed it a little bit more about being competitive, and so you want to make it a little more shorter probably than the one you have because
Oh, good. Then send it.
yeah, it's more effective. And then, obviously, for mindset, I was going to recommend something called 15 Steps of Getting Out of a Rut and
Yeah.
having a contest with your team. And it's really 15 things to rank on how you do daily. So the idea is really, if you end up doing all 15 things, you're probably going to have one heck of a day. It's probably going to be like one of the best days you could possibly have. So every day you want to rank where you're at on these things, and then it really just gets you focused on yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of clients, because it starts with you. And these things we tracked. We did a contest for 30 days, and then we did a cash prize for the winner.
And that's for team members if they did it, right?
Yeah, the entire team did it. We did it, and everyone seemed to really enjoy it. So that'd be something I'd recommend. And it ranks things like, did you read that day? Did you drink alcohol? Which our team really was bad at that. They were really bad.
You guys got really gross.
No one got points on that category.
You're supposed to drink or not? What's the question? What's the rule of that one?
But it's fun, and people enjoyed it. So I'd recommend that. And we'll send you. We did a Google Doc that you guys can use, and you can
Yeah.
just do the exact same thing.
So these 15 steps of getting out of a rut, he actually had gotten from a guy named Ben Kinney.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, Ben Kinney. Yep.
So, which is awesome. And Tony and I were talking this morning, and he had thought they did it for 30 days. He said maybe like 45, 60 days would be better.
I'd probably do 60 at least, because I would do 66 days based on the one thing to start, to do.
So the reason he's saying 66 days is it takes 66 days to create a habit.
Right.
And one thing, the book, the one thing, that's why they say that.
Yeah. So I would probably start with 66. 30 I thought was maybe a little short to do that. And then another thing you guys could do as a team, I'm just throwing out ideas, would be reviews. And you do a review contest, you could do a referral contest, or you could do both. And then, one thing we did with really our admin versus sales, we had if each person could qualify, and we had two categories. One was admin and one was sales, and we had a prize for the admin if they were mentioned in the review, and then also we had sales separately. And so we've done it that way, and my team's really competitive, so it was a lot of fun. And then we post it, every single review, we celebrate it, and we post it on our internal Facebook page for our team. And it's really cool, man. It's really neat to see like what people say. I mean, it's really incredible, like what we do for our clients, and to celebrate our team members that get mentioned in the online review is just really, really neat. So I'd recommend that.
And we want to post those on our social media too, to brag on you guys too, from Instagram
For
to
sure.
all those things.
Yeah.
Too.
The new Instagram.
So Anything else? So you're gonna send us the 15 steps of getting out of a rut, so we can maybe start that challenge and the referral and review contest too. You have a question, Brenda?
The email he was talking about, there was an email.
Email. Oh, the online review email. So the one that we have that we've used that's in Brevity was his original one, so he's gonna send us a new one.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Tony, if you could, and I know you said that, your lead gen is kind of an opportunity to struggle just to get everybody consistent. If you had to choose kind of like your 3 biggest opportunities with your team, whether it's something inconsistent or something that you feel like you continually struggle with, what do you think your kind of top 3 opportunities / struggles are with your team currently?
Good question. So one is definitely, let me think here. The order, I would say, 36 touch, really implementing a good 36 touch. We've tried to leverage it from other companies, and what we found is they ended up basically just fizzling out, so we need to work on that for sure, where it doesn't go to their spam. So we need to create that organically and be sent from Brevity, or we use a different CRM where it doesn't go to spam and it goes through your CRM. So we want to build that out. So that's probably number one thing we need to implement on our end. Consistency with lead gen and holding people accountable to, really, for me, I have no problem having tough conversations with people, because I've been coached for 5 years and been kicked in the teeth, got off the phone just like defeated, like, man, I suck, like I need to improve, so I don't have a problem with that myself, but coaching our leaders to be able to do that and what that should look like in accountability discussions, and really it comes from a place of not like, you didn't hit your goals. It's really, in my mind, it's really, you're cheating your family, and you've decided to work with me to push you to become the best person you could possibly be, and not realtor, best person. So taking ownership of what that should look like and caring that much that you have tough conversations when needed is really, really important. And I think getting our leadership the training needed on what that should look like is always a challenge, because typically we don't want to have tough conversations. We want to kind of under the rug, and so those are the top 2. The third, just hiring fast enough, finding the right talent, which I think every team will say is finding the right people that want to move in the right direction, and eliminating gossip and just bad mindset. Really in the office, it's just 1 or 2 people can just ruin your whole team, and that's happened to me. Last year we lost about half our team. Unfortunately, I had to fire a lot of people, and that was not fun, but it came from ego and just bad mindset and culture. And so you just got to be really careful on who you bring into your world. And then the whole team, since the whole team's sitting there, is, don't be that person that's whispering, in your office. And, if you have an issue, just bring it up to the person directly, so my BNI, I think, has a good policy. If you have an issue with another team member or another chapter member, you have to go talk to them directly, or you put it in writing. Okay, so I've implemented that in our team, so then it kind of gets rid of the nonsense. And if you have a real legitimate issue with another team member, first of all, talk it out, and then second of all, if you can't, write it down, and then it goes to the leader of that department. And if you'll find not many people will actually write it down, because when you start writing it down, it's pretty silly. It's pretty silly. A lot of the stuff we come up with in our own minds on.
Well, when we don't talk about it, we often build a story bigger in our heads of what's
right. We do. And then I would say this too: if your team doesn't have your back, no one's going to have your back, guys. Real estate's tough, and you gotta be in it together. And if you're not, you're just working against one another. So I don't know every person in the room, but I would say, if you're not in it for the long haul, you really need to have some where you really think through of what your goals are, And then I know Jessica, you have a big org chart, right? So you start figuring out like the org chart and what role do you want? Okay. And here's the thing, like you can't just be given a role, you got to earn the role. So sometimes I'll have team members that are like, hey, I want this role. And I'm like, well, crush it in your role. Okay. Like you've got to crush this role to have other opportunities. You don't just move to this role, right? You don't get a leadership role based on that you didn't do a good job, right? So you have to really have that org chart. And ours is really big because we have a 5-year plan. And in our 5-year, if you did not, at one point, Jessica was all of them, right? Because that's how it starts.
Yeah,
And then,
tell them about that, because we did that, but.
well, at one point where we do everything. I mean, photographer, stager, listing appointment, buyer's agent. I mean, we do it all. And then as we decide to grow, we give up money in turn to get some leverage and time and help them succeed, right? And I'll tell you that the best part for me is watching the other people succeed on my team. It's not like I get that excited about going to get a listing at this point, so getting people that are hitting their goals is just so awesome to see. And having the work chart kind of laid out as a team, I think understanding like what direction you're going. So, everyone in their role can earn something else potentially, right? And have a world big enough so people like me don't leave their team, right? Because that's why I left the team I was on. I was kind of capped where I could be, and I wasn't good with that. I wanted more. So, I would challenge all of you guys to have that conversation on what your org chart should look like and what direction you guys want to go.
So I know we're quickly running out of time here, but one last question, if you
Yeah.
could. So your top buyer agent just left. What was that person's production?
It wasn't tough.
It was our second. They did about, they were going to do about 40, 45 units this year.
And do you know what volume-ish that was? Ish?
I really don't off the top of my head. Where our average sales price is $280.
Okay, and so they were going to do 40 to 45 just buyers?
Yeah, just buyers.
And then your top buyer agent, what are they going to do this year per unit?
She's going to do about 55, 60.
Kate is great.
And then your top listing agent?
Yeah, he's going to sell about 100 units approximately.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you don't have anyone doing both?
No, we don't.
Is there a reason why you haven't made that transition?
Yeah, I just feel like they're completely different roles. So that's just what I've decided. And I feel like when expansion started is when people started shifting and doing both. And I'm interested to see what Gary says about it. But ultimately, they're completely different jobs. So we've got it broken down to, we have our in-house photography, we have an in-house stager, we have an in-house recruiter. So, we're about as specialized as you can be on our team. And we just feel like that's the best fit for us right now. And that could change at some point, but like Craig, here's an example, guys. Craig was our listing agent. He's our listing agent now that does the majority of appointments. He shadowed me for 60 days. 60 days. He went on 78 listing appointments with me. Okay. Then I shadowed him for 30 days. And I actually only had to shadow him 15 days. And I'm like, you're good to go. And guess how many listings he got in his first 60 days?
How many?
42.
That's insane.
So my point is, you got to nail the training, and we just kind of like, yeah, go and see how it goes. But we got to set people up for success. So like Kate right now is exploring the showing assistant model, where we're going to have showing assistants potentially for her. And we're working through all that right now. And she ultimately, it's the same thing. We know that system works. So they're going to shadow her for 60 days. And then it's going to be a transition after that. So
Did
I feel like
was it Jen Davis? What's her name?
Yeah. we did a call with Jen, and she gave us great advice. And we have a call today, actually, with Melody on Joe Bogart's team that was on stage at Mega Camp.
Yep.
So again, we're not trying to like change everything. We're just trying to follow someone else that's done it well and adopt their model, right?
So is 80 listing appointments in 60 days pretty normal?
It was pretty busy time that time.
Holy
That
crap.
time of the year. Yeah, that time of the year was pretty crazy, but yeah, we're doing a 90 and 90 right now, and we're about 58 days in, and we have about 45 listings. So we're pretty focused on listings on our end.
So with you being 10%, how many listing appointments a month are you going on?
About 4.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but online reviews is how we get all those, by the way. People just call us up and they say, hey, we want to interview you. And they're usually interviewing 4 or 5 in our area.
Yeah. How
And,
many, Tony, tell them about in Tampa, about how many agents can somebody find in just Tampa, not all of Florida, just Tampa?
They get what?
How many agents do you compete with in just Tampa, not necessarily all of Florida?
How many they meet with?
In your market, like how many agents are in the Tampa market?
Oh, I mean, my market center, there's over 400 just in my market center. In my association, we have about 13,000 realtors right now.
Right, and that's just the Tampa area.
That's just Tampa. That's not St. Pete's Pro, and yeah, it's
Like not even a half hour.
extremely competitive. Extremely competitive.
So that's like our entire state. Literally.
Well, Tampa's about the size of the United States.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, it's for relativity. I tell people this: Tampa is the size of Rhode Island, square footage wise.
Yeah.
Our county is the size of Rhode Island.
Isn't that crazy?
Pretty wild.
Giving Rhode Island. So that's awesome. Awesome, Tony. Well, we appreciate you. You have been
Thank you.
so
Thank
awesome.
you.
For us.
Thank
Guys,
you.
anybody else have any questions for Tony? Because you guys are all open to ask him questions.
Tony, very quickly, your admin side, what do you have?
Yeah, so we have listing closing coordinator, buyer closing coordinator, full-time. They're in the office every day. Full-time listing coordinator, listing manager actually, and then we got a recruiter, in-house marketing and media full-time. So the idea is she does marketing or she's out shooting a new listing. So she's full-time with us as well. Then we have 2 OSA, 2 ISA, 2 buyer specialists, and 1 other listing specialist and myself. And then we have the 1 OSA that's in training right now to become a listing specialist. So.
Hey, do you mind emailing us your org chart too?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I just did a class.
There's names on there, like Sherry is the closing coordinator, and Kelly is the recruiter, and Anne Marie is the lead gen.
I'll be glad to do that. Yeah, I have all the names in there, and I just did a class on it in Sarasota 2 weeks ago, so I have it updated, and
That'd
so
be awesome.
yeah, I can send that.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything else before we let it go?
You're the bomb.
Thanks for your time, Tony.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hope you got something out of it.
Hey, whenever we need to come to Florida to help, just let us know.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm actually going to be talking to Jess about a class down here most likely. So I'm the educational coordinator for my ALC this next year. So we're going to bring in some awesome talent from around the country.
You know I'm in. Let me know any of the dark winter months you want me to come. My suitcase is ready, and any of these guys would love to join.
I'm thinking the whole team should come down. You
How
know,
far of a drive are you to Disney? That's all that matters.
Yes.
we're an hour from Disney. So
Perfect. And we're very close to the beach. St. Pete is beautiful.
Okay,
Tampa is
that's
lovely.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
We're in.
thanks, guys. Let us know if we can help you with Tampa Bay referrals, guys.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Okay. See you later.
I want a Baroni cooler still.
We'll get you covered.
We need coolers.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.